Abby, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're able to do another sermon with me.
It is a tradition of sorts. 9 years.
9 years. How old were you when we started?
I was only 9 years old.
Wow. I know for a fact many people put up with me almost all year long just to hear you on this day.
Thanks. Pastor Michael, I must say you've gotten better at this. I think I've been a good influence on you.
You've been a very good influence.
Who knows, perhaps in a few years, you'll be ready to go solo.
I think I might need more than a few years.
Well, we'll see. I am awfully busy.
Now, we've talked about lots of things these past 9 Thanksgivings. What would you like to talk about this morning?
Well, there's this guy in my school, and he's really cute, and I really want to ask him out.
Well, maybe we should talk about that after church.
I was only kidding. You don't think I'd talk about that with you, do you? Come on. Seriously, though, it seems to me that we live at a time when people are very fragmented, where we quickly demonize those who don't look and think like us.
Boy, you got that right. I'm so glad the last election cycle is over. I didn't even care who won or lost. I'm just glad it's done. I don't miss those horrible attack ads at all, one after another.
Exactly. They were nasty. Both sides were utterly mean-spirited. You'd almost think we weren't all Americans.
We seem to have forgotten about common good and what unites us. We've forgotten that it's okay to disagree with people without getting ugly and calling them names.
You've got that right. And it's not just in the political world.
Well, what do you mean?
Even churches can be vindictive, self-righteous, and narrow-minded. You remember that pastor who wanted to burn the Quran. Many people believe they have a monopoly on truth and morality. They act as though they have a private audience with God, and everyone else is out.
People like that are just wrong. They drive me crazy. They're blatant morons.
Better be careful. Better be careful, Pastor Michael. That attitude, they're wrong and we're right, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, maybe I was just a wee bit strong.
A wee bit? You were way over the top.
Okay, but Abby, can we agree they're just not as right as we are?
Careful. You remember that great poem by Yahud Amki? The place where we is right is hard and trampled, and flowers will never grow.
Oh, I love that poem.
Perhaps you need to love it and live it.
Good point.
So we need a good dose of humility, and we need to remember those things that unite us.
Like hot dogs, baseball, and Cracker Jacks?
Those, I suppose, but more important things like freedom and responsibility and a shared history.
Shared history? What do you mean by that?
Well, we as Americans, we're a nation of people who came here from somewhere else.
Yeah, like I came from Michigan.
That's not exactly what I meant. You may have come from Michigan, but I'm pretty sure your great-great-grandfather didn't.
What do you know about my great-great-grandfather?
I was speaking symbolically. If you go back far enough in any of our families, Americans, we all come from some other place.
Well, where did your families come from?
Well, my father's family comes from Scotland.
Does your dad have a kilt?
I'm not allowed to talk about that. But my mom's family came from Ireland.
What was her maiden name?
O'Falvey.
Oh yeah, the O'Flavies. Didn't they grow potatoes?
Stereotype.
Sorry.
Where does your family come from?
You know, I'm not really certain, Abby.
That's precisely part of the problem. We don't take our history seriously. And when we don't take the past seriously, you often don't live well in the present or the future.
So it's important to remember that we're a nation of immigrants?
Yes, and today that's especially important. We have a shared history. We fled oppressive nations in pursuit of freedom.
And I guess we also have many common heroes.
We do, like Jefferson, Madison, Lincoln, and more modernly, King. All of these people have shaped the American spirit.
And then we have common stories and common myths that keep us together.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
That's a good one. And one of my favorites goes this way. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent.
President Lincoln said a lot. You should keep that in mind next Sunday. Lincoln only used 282 words and probably said more than you
Careful, careful, careful. Young
One
lady.
of my favorites is, there's this great line. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American spirit.
Outstanding. That's one of the best.
As a nation, we have great documents and speeches. We have heroes and heroines, just like we do in the church.
Like, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth?
Good job. And in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God.
How about Moses' words to Pharaoh, let my people go, or Amos's, let justice roll like a river?
Not bad. One of the best comes from Jesus. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me.
So just like Americans have the Declaration of Independence and other great documents, Christians, we have our own texts that unite and inspire us?
Exactly. And just like our nation, the Gilford Community Church is a place that people have come from lots of different places to get here.
Well, I think most of our people have fled the oppressive state of Massachusetts.
That's probably true. But I also mean a lot of different places theologically.
Theologically? Well, what do you mean by that?
One of the great things about this church is that a lot of our people come from a lot of different backgrounds. We're sort of a great melting pot. For example, the O'Falveys, my mom's family, they were Catholics. Weren't you Catholic?
I was Catholic a long time ago.
And my father grew up Southern Baptist.
Ah, that explains why he doesn't like to smile.
Pastor Michael. Pastor Michael.
I'm sorry.
I believe your better half grew up Pentecostal.
No, she did.
And lots of our members were Episcopalian, some were Lutheran, others Presbyterian.
And some come here with no church background at all.
But we are bound together as one community.
Well, what keeps us? What unites us here?
Well, there's a couple things.
Like?
Here at the Gilford Community Church, we are united by a strong conviction that the world isn't quite as good as it could be. But together, we can make it better. We can make a difference.
Well, you know I'm slow, Abby, so you're going to have to give me an example.
The obvious one is the Gilford Youth Center. No one could have done it alone, but together we did. And like Scott mentioned last week, after 1 year, it's already making a positive contribution to the lives of so many in our area.
That is a good example. What else?
Does the name Martha Dolbin mean anything to you?
Martha? What?
She spoke last week to the church about her important work with women in Uganda. She and an organization she works with have started a university there.
Well, that's in Africa. What does that have to do with us?
Martha told us that for the last 7 years, we have financially supported that work. Our partnership with her made her quite grateful.
Well, I suppose that's a good thing.
One of the great things Jesus did was to expand our circle of care and compassion.
To do what?
Humans have always cared for their own. We seem to be genetically wired to do that. And generally, humans have treated well their closest neighbors.
Not my neighbor. He's a real...
Generally. But Jesus challenged his peers to love people beyond their family and village.
Well, how did he do that?
He told stories where the heroes were foreigners and others where the villains were the good Israelites. And he demonstrated by his actions and not only his words that we are to love the Samaritan.
Time out. I don't know any Samaritans.
Metaphor again, Pastor Michael. It's a metaphor. But they were real people in Jesus' day, despised by most of the Israelites. But Jesus loved them and told us to do the same. For us, the Samaritan could stand for anyone that we don't like.
Like New York Jet fans or Peyton Manning? I hate him.
I suppose if you struggle to like the fans of the Jets or Peyton. But more universally, the Samaritans could represent those people we really despise, those we struggle to like.
Well, if the Jets win the AFC East, I'm going to be despising them. You can bet on that.
Well, then I think Jesus might tell you a story about the good Jet fan who rescued the self-righteous pastor of, let's say, the Gilford Community Church.
Okay, Abby. I know if I'm honest, I should love even that Jet fan, but it's not going to be easy.
Well, was it easy running 26.2 miles from Staten Island to Central Park?
Not at my advanced age.
Well, many things in life are hard, but we are still challenged to do them. Again, that's the value of our community. Together, we have a sense of what is noble, and together, we can help each other get there.
Well, you know I'm going to need lots of help.
I'll be there, and so will so many others. Together, we can do great things. Remember the saying of the wise rabbi, heaven's in good shape. It's earth that needs a fixin'.
I like that. Heaven's in good shape. It's earth that needs a fixin'.
Do you remember what I said about Lincoln? 282 words?
The Gettysburg Address.
Well, we are way beyond 282. Enough talking. Let's get a fixin'.
Sounds good. Amen.
Amen.